The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, we go into the breach, dear friends.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
As we start the show off, S&P's off 2.5 points, the Dow's up 94, and the NASDAQ off 88. And, of course, I don't spend a lot of time talking about the NASDAQ index anyway. 5 stocks are now 68% of the entire index. That's like going out and asking 5 people, who's going to be the next president, and saying that it's meaningful. It is not. A handful of stocks can easily move the NASDAQ, as Apple did today. Apple got a little start on the move today after it found out that you could just type in something in just about any Macintosh in the latest operating system and get right through. No hard hacking needed. So a lot of people kind of started pushing on that. I think that also a great deal of what we're seeing today was about 5 days of into the world top of the market talk in the newspapers. And I think what that finally got a lot of people to do is start putting stops fairly close underneath the market. And I think they just went out and cleaned them all out today. We also seeing a bit of sector rotation, and this is the time where, what was the hockey guy's name, who always said that you got to skate to where the puck's gonna be, not where it's at today. I'm not wasn't a hockey fan, didn't dislike it, just didn't really understand why it was exciting. Maybe I would have played it and had fun. I don't think I can watch it and have fun. Never know. Anyway, nobody in the den? I figured that quote, everybody knew that quote. Wayne Gretzky, thank you. Interesting game. And yes, I did ice skate. So it wasn't like I did that. So anyway, a little bit of those things going on. Doesn't mean that the market can't go down in the future, but what I suspect is that they're winding up for what they think are going to be the big winners next year, and they're taking some cash off of the winners for this year. So we'll keep an eye on this, but don't be surprised if we see the S&P go positive by the end of the day, maybe up a few points. And just a lot of money being taken off the table on the NASDAQ. Of course, tomorrow we'll really start getting into fund buying for the end of the month in earnest. And that means that it's going to be kind of hard to get this market down very hard over the next couple of days. And maybe one of the reasons why they decided to go ahead and do the route today. Not saying that these markets could not go down or we could see some fairly big moves. We'll talk about the signals I would look for a January 2nd sell-off, which I think, if you want to be bearish, is kind of the pattern that I'm thinking about now. We saw that a couple of years ago, and it just went down for a month and then came back up. Kind of the same kind of pattern, thin trading, but today, it really kind of reminds me of a lot like UNG, and we'll talk about that later in the day. As always, we'd like to start the show off with a little bit of history.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
And on this day in 1972, Atari introduces their first product. It's Pong. which would become the world's first commercially successful video game. The popularity of Pong sparked the beginning of the video game industry, with Atari being the leader in both arcade and home video game industries through the early 80s. I had, in my comings and goings in the 1990 to 2000, bump into almost everybody that was in or around Atari at one time. Both Jack Tramiel, Irving Gould, and Nolan Bushnell. You'll remember Nolan Bushnell from many of his other businesses, but of course the biggest name other than Atari he's associated with was Chuck E. Cheese. In fact, there's a great documentary you can see about his comings and goings on Chuck E. Cheese on YouTube. If you just, I think you just put in Chuck E. Cheese, you'll find it. A good thing about the wars, the animation slash video game industry for kids in the 80s and 90s with places like Chuck E. Cheese. But of course, he had Atari, and then I think it was about 1978 started the Chuck E. Cheese part of it so that he'd have somewhere to put all those Atari video games. Made a lot of money in those first years. By 1983 was about bankrupt because everybody was bored with the games. I mean, everybody wanted to play them for a while. Then the games got old, and they really weren't able to take the games to the next level in 1983. I met Nolan Bushnell, who is really kind of the driving force between Atari in those early years. And he was trying to reinvigorate Commodore business machines, which kind of funny since, of course, he ran Atari. And one of the guys that actually ran Commodore, their big competition, left to go buy and start Atari. So it was a fairly incestuous business in the 70s and 80s. Everybody worked for the same folks. But I could go on and on about this. But I met him in the mid-90s when they brought him in to basically save Commodore. And I was in Chicago. I represented a fairly large part of the additional hardware sales that went into some of the Commodore machines at the time in the early 90s, mid-90s. And it was kind of funny because I sat down with him, and before he could get much out of his mouth, I wanted to ask him a question. Basically, he said he was getting ready to take over and be the CEO and run the company. And I said, yesterday, Commodore fired 120 of your major programmers, and no one had told him yet. Irving Gould had always run Commodore business machines as his own fiefdom and wasn't very happy about dealing with anybody else in the company. He looked ashen to me and then stood up, walked out the door, made some phone calls, came back in and goes, "Meeting's over." And that was all she wrote. No more Commodore business machines after that. The evil CEO, Irving Gould, blew the company up for his own profit. We'll talk a little more about this and then get into charts.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we had a question in the den, and it was, if you buy a Bitcoin, let's say at $10,000 a couple of days ago or yesterday, whenever it was $10,000, it went to $15,000. You sold it and you put the cash back into your bank account, although that doesn't really matter. It says, where am I taxed on the $5,000 gain? I don't know where, when, who. That's a little fuzzy, but normally you would just be taxed at a, last I saw anyway, taxed at a short-term cap gains rate on that money. So you would be taxed on the full $5,000. You need to show your records of when you bought it and when you and what you got for it when it went back into your account, minus any kind of fees. So that'd be about it. There's a website called greentrader.com. That guy does a lot of work. If you actually had a lot of money or wanted to know about it, I'd probably contact that guy. If you've got real sticky problems with trading and accounting, that guy's got a he's got a big firm. And I'm not a lawyer, and I remember just seeing some of the ways that you get taxed across it. But, man, if you were talking about spending some fairly big cash in getting into Bitcoin, I'd probably contact his firm first. Yeah, he's, as they say, he knows all the angles, and I have used them before when things didn't quite line up with my broker's accounts for what I actually did. He unwound it, and the IRS was happy at the time. They're not happy very much, but they were happy at the time. So the second question is here's the second question. Since blockchain is a record of ownership, how would a blockchain get attached to a physical object like a car? And that's kind of a much bigger problem. It's not easily solved by Bitcoin, but Ethereum actually has in its transaction a place to put contracts. And the contract could say that, I'm paying back a loan, or that I own it, or that I bought this piece of property. I always love the IRS slogan. We have what we need to take what you got. That was always the IRS slogan. But it is Ethereum and some of the other ones that have the ability to have contracts in them are what you're looking for if you actually want to assign anything more than just a basic exchange of values. Ethereum's other big claim to fame is that they have basically currency transactions handled through it as you go, so that they're seamlessly. So someone in, let's say, Bolivia wants to buy something in the U.S., they just buy it, and the exchange from Bitcoins to the U.S. back through Bitcoins and everything else is all handled online, or you're told what your price would be in Bitcoins on the other side, and it's all transparent. So again, that's some of the stuff coming in the future. Although I think you can actually do the Ethereum thing today. I've seen some examples of how you would do it online. In fact, one of the dinners asked me how it all worked, and I just pointed the video to the guy. I sat through it. I kind of understand it, but I haven't done it myself. But it is kind of interesting to know that that would all be handled seamlessly in the bigger APIs of Ethereum-style Bitcoin or blockchain technology. Yeah, very low cost of transactions, which is the idea that you don't have 2% or 1.5% from Visa or MasterCard, and that way they can handle everything else. So hopefully that handles that. We're looking at the SMHs today and some of the others. As I said, I suspected that there were a lot of people setting up stops in the market, and there was a lot of end-of-the-world discussions starting about Friday in the news that a top was in, that the top is coming. And normally when you get those kind of things, one of the things that you do get is traders who set very tight stops, and that tends to have and generate the kind of waterfall market that we saw today in certain stocks. We saw it on Monday in some, and you just continue to kind of let people run and route the market fairly easily. The computers are so good and so fast these days that there's nothing that humanly that retail traders could do to put a finger in the dike of it. It's just one of these things that, if you're sitting on a fairly big win, like maybe NVIDIA at $20, it being down $14 today, probably not the happiest day in your life, but you're still sitting on it, still with some big bucks. I'm going to say that what we really want to be looking for out here, normally markets, especially these parabolic markets, don't just fall off the top of the earth. You're going to get one more chance for this thing probably to go back above a 9-day moving average. And at that point, if that thing holds through the end of the year, you're looking for the next pull back down. If it just immediately goes through a 3x3 displaced moving average and fails, then that's probably a good indication that you're now going to catch that downtrend. It's going to take a while. So I could see that semiconductors maybe drift back up higher a little bit into the end of the year, setting up the short position for January 2nd when we return, whatever it is, January 3rd. I think it's January 2nd. To take a look at it. Let's take a quick look at NVIDIA, NVDA. Okay. Just looking at emails here, and that you can always email me at path@tfnn.com. I got a couple of them here. We'll get to those. I've got to get rid of a few of these things. Anyway, let's take a look at video. Same kind of thing. You broke below the, really broke below the 3x3 yesterday. You blew through the gap up that was on the 10th of November. It is not bullish. As I've warned you for 6 to 9 months, I thought eventually we'd get to this point where competition was really, truly coming in. One of the things that started NVIDIA down today earlier on, and it really kind of started a little bit yesterday, were many analysts saying that there wouldn't be a lot of money in Ethereum and Bitcoin mining in the future. Even NVIDIA themselves didn't say that it was a big part of the business in our last earnings call. This was actually kind of aimed at AMD, but again, I think there were so many stops out here that it was just a very easy market to run. We'll look at AMD when we come back, but I never thought it was that big a part of their business to begin with. That's why we're probably looking for a little bounce out here and then seeing whether or not NVIDIA can hold up higher prices.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we talked, a great deal of the big moves in both both in NVIDIA and AMD have been on video graphics chips. AMD was sold kind of a huge bill of goods, I thought, up to $14.41. Everybody's saying that people were buying these systems to mine Ethereum. We talked, was it last week or this week, about how much electricity it cost. Maybe this was in the den. Can't remember if we talked on the air. But someone asked me where most of these Bitcoin miners were. And I had to say, well, for the most part, there were electricity is very cheap, like Norway and Sweden, where everybody gets hydroelectric power, and that's the cheapest power that really is. And the second part of that was where it was very cold, because it takes a lot of energy to actually cool all those mining machines. And so if you live on the equator, you're going to have to spend a lot of electricity and more expensive electricity for the most part to run those machines. So that most of the people that built the machines and most of the people that used the machines tended to be in the upper part of Europe for a great deal, and some in Canada. But Canadian electricity, not all that cheap comparatively. So a lot of them tended to be northern Europeans, especially in the cold water. A lot of them actually sucked water out of the ocean, the frigid temperatures, to cool, hundreds of these machines that they had. So electricity was a big deal. Kind of funny that I saw an article, was it last night or this morning? I sent it to Andy Heck. But it was these guys shoving all these machines in their Teslas and driving them up to the power stations, because they get free electric for life for buying early Teslas. So these guys had put all these machines in there and were running them, and they finally figured out that the maximum amount of machines that they could put in there and the mining for Bitcoins and Ethereum basically meant that they could spend the whole day up there and still only make about 40 or 45 bucks. So you got to see, and that saved them $20 in electricity. So I don't know who wants to hang out at a power charging station all day long to make, 45, 50 bucks, but it wasn't a lot. And that's where the economies of scale just don't really work with Bitcoin. That mining part of it, of the business, I think, kind of going away a bit. To me, it's a lot more. You're going to make a lot more trading if you know what you're doing, Bitcoin and Ethereum, that you are ever going to do mining. And so, again, I don't think that was such a big deal, but certainly I think a lot of people had way too many stops, and it was just easy for them to route NVIDIA. But to me, NVIDIA is all about any kind of competition coming from Intel. We talked about how Intel actually has hired the head of AMD's video graphics department just a week or two ago. And so all these are probably a lot more about big Intel swatting the smaller AMDs and NVIDIAs of the world. But NVIDIA, Intel, we talked about this one, you get back down to around 42 bucks, probably a fairly good looking buy for next year. They've got some new technology that's coming out. Looks like it's going to be about midsummer. I'll be all over it. It's the computer I've been waiting to buy. These things are going to be lightning fast, and a major change in the way computers are built and manufactured, but probably midsummer is what Intel is saying now for people like me. They're already selling this stuff already to high-end server farms and that kind of stuff. So nice little move out here to $47 on Intel. Valid breakout after huge amounts of years going sideways. So this is kind of like gold going around 2000 when it broke out after going sideways for 10 years. These things are going to run. This may take a little while for it to settle back down, but somewhere around 42 would be more about what I'm thinking here, would be a possible buy, even if the rest of the SMHs are not on fire next year. So keep an eye on that. To question in the den about whether I see CMG, which is its CEO finally said he's going to give up, and not soon enough. Always kind of, you get some feelings when you see people or you see them talk. This guy never really ever, just kind of made me feel a little bit oily when he talked about food with integrity. I knew the first thing when he said that it was going to be all about ptomaine poisoning or something years ago. But you've got a little pop back out here. The resistance level is going to come in at 308 on CMG. There's just too many times that thing looked at that as resistance. So you got $6-7 higher in that. Last two, do you see this hitting the top of the gap next few days? Not the top of the gap, but I do think 308 is where this thing is going to probably have a lot of resistance. Even with the new CEO, it's an issue. But I have a sneaking sensation that why the enthusiasm for this company will be reborn a little bit. It's probably going to take a couple of quarters for the new CEO to find out where all the dead bodies are hired, get the books in order, and turn this company around. So 308, I'd be taking my cash, and I'd be running as fast as I could to check out on that one. But yeah, you got another $6-7. Okay, got another email coming in here. Again, you can always email me at path@tfnn.com. Question is, do I really think that this is a signal? Yes, I think it's a signal only if you get confirmation. And again, that confirmation is going to be some of these patterns where we go back up there and we fail yet again. I'm, of course, thinking that even though there will be some drama around the tax bill and probably some drama around the debt raising thing, that those are going to fade away fairly quickly. We're going to get into the part where we get very light volumes. The shorts are going to get out of the way, and at that point, you're going to have a much better, especially at the very beginning of the year. Most shorts start peeling away their positions, and those positions, as the stocks kind of climb up a little bit, they pull out. But what that does mean is that a lot of times you see a lot of people go hog wild shorting the first couple of days of the year. There aren't a lot of people, and it's an easy time to route the market yet again. Not a lot of shorts. A lot of times the volatility dies in the last week or so of trading the year, and they put their stops a lot closer. And guess what? When the first couple of days of the year come around, they don't move those stops back out for regular trading, and it makes, again, a fairly easy target for computers to just run the table. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks! Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Yeah, we're trading around 11,377 high today, right? 920, 90, 20, 96. Although we were down to 92.50, I think. Well, I was talking also. So yeah, if you don't like the price of Bitcoin, think it's too high, just wait a few minutes. I think it'll be. If you love Bitcoin at 11,000, you'll love it. You'll love it now. So I don't spend a lot of time looking at Bitcoin, but yeah, look at it. Anyway, Chipotle, again, I like that 308 level, and it's traded there many times before, and I watched it, and thank God got out of it before the bottom fell out before, because it did look fairly good, but that'd be it. Question when I showed AMD, what do I think? Well, the chart actually looks fairly good here. You had 100, you probably want it to come back just a little bit lower. But at $9.85, you had 140 million shares on May 3rd. Now, October 30th, you had $10.65 at 137 million shares. Today, you got 50 million shares. So it's the volume's coming down on AMD, but I'd really love to see $9.85 tested on lighter volume before I tried to bust this for a move higher. I do like that the energy really has come off on this last leg down from November 7th. So far, so good. But you got about a little less than $1.90 lower out here to test this May 3rd low, and I would rather see that before I put any money to work. Okay, let's see what else we have going on out here. Okay, so we're off 2.5 points on the S&P cash, 84 points higher on the Dow, and off 92 on the NASDAQ. But both the Dow and the NASDAQ kind of meaningless unless you're trading them. But I mean, not representative of anything statistically, just that. Question about the IBB. It got up to, let's call it 315 today. Spike kind of gave it back up. I was talking, and we were talking to one of my subscribers today, and I was before everything went to hell in a handbasket in the NASDAQ. We were talking mostly about that. What is, as these guys in the big street take off cash or these big wins in tech, they're going to move that cash to somewhere else. Normally, unless the market crashes, they don't just sit on the cash. They'll put it somewhere else. And of course, we'll look at the IYT in a minute to give you an idea, but just the Dow safety stocks give you a much better idea where these guys are starting to salt their cash away. But you know, a lot of times the worst performers of the last year are the ones that really didn't do much, are where you start watching some of these big fish of Wall Street, whales, put their cash back in. And the IBB, I kind of like a little bit, but they've got, I don't know, a couple of senators out there today putting some new bills together over the opioid crisis. And I thought that that would probably put a lid on this thing for a week or so. I don't know if that bill ever comes to fruition, but I may be thinking that maybe the better thing to do is probably not play everything in the biotech community and look at some more stocks that have some individual application. In fact, I would probably think about looking for stocks with low volatility that could pop, and look at buying calls on them instead of risking, you know, $310 or whatever on something like the IBB. I'd much rather want to look at an individual stock that probably didn't have exposure to can't even say it today. Opioids. Why do I say it? Opiates? Opioids? Doesn't sound right. Maybe I've had another stroke. But that's kind of it. Now, got another question in here. Do I think anything else different on Tesla? Hang on just a second. And the answer is no. You would love to see this thing at 290 if you thought you were going to get something. But to me, the issue with Tesla has been and always is this monster short interest. For the last 3 days, last 2 days, 28% of every trade initiated with a short position. You know, maybe you get down to 292.63, which is a November 2nd low. It looks like that would be on a lighter volume if you didn't get that low already today. You've got some fun buying out here. Maybe you get some sellers. But we're getting into the point now where all the tax selling is going to be over here in another couple of days. And then you're going to have some of these stocks with big, fat opportunities for buying calls that drift a little higher all the way through the end of the year with those short positions. So I'll continue. Opioids? Yeah, that's it. Opioids? I think opioids is better, don't you? I know opie and oids. Opioids. And just like that, my stroke is over. What else do we have? Okay, Bitcoin 9,000. Okay. Do I have enough time? I do want to talk a little bit about what's going on today, because there are not a lot of people that I know of that stayed around from either the blow up in 2008, and certainly just maybe I can count on traders of the thousands I knew in 2000 that are still around today. And mostly it was because they've never went through a bubble of a market, which I think we're kind of in right now. Bitcoin may be making that example also today. We'll look at it after I get off the air. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it since I don't have any money to burn on it. But you always see a few of these things kind of burn, but the gamblers that it produces in the market do not instantly go away. If they haven't lost all their money already, they're going to get in, look for the kind of action that they've seen in Bitcoin over the last few months, or in other things like the SMHs, or others. The gambling mentality that this kind of action produces does not go away. Even when people saw stocks go to the moon and back to zero in 1999 before everything blew up, you continue to see kind of the idea that, you know, everybody didn't lose all their money in one day, but they do get kind of addicted to markets and stocks, and especially vehicles that really have huge swings. We've got a little bit of that today in the NASDAQ and certainly the SMHs, but that generally just isn't the end of it. You get some very wild swings, and it becomes almost a narcotic. Can't even say that either today. Narcotic. Talk a little bit more about this, but you got to go through a couple of these bubbles to really get an idea of what the mentality is back then.
It's that time of year again. The TFNN Salvation Army Tiger Dollar Holiday Sale is back. Through this Sunday only, you can get a 25% bonus on any Tiger Dollar purchase, and up to 10% of whatever you spend will be donated to the Salvation Army in your name. This sale only comes around once a year and is one of the most rewarding promotions we have. Tiger Dollars are a great way to add extra savings to any TFNN product or service. Whether you're considering signing up for any newsletter or workshop in the future, or you're already a subscriber, Tiger Dollars offer an immediate savings on any TFNN newsletter, webinar, workshop, or Master Trader series. And they never expire and are fully transferable to friends and family. For all the details and to take part in this special promotion, visit the front page of TFNN.com before this sale ends Sunday, December 3rd. And happy holidays from TFNN. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets. Right here on TFNN. Wow!
And since I started really full-time in 98 and didn't do anything else really after 2002, I've gone through at least a couple out here of these giant bubbles. And the biggest thing is I guess, is the amount of people that get into these things and just can't quit. They can't take the winnings off the table. It's like going to It's like going to Las Vegas and having a big win and not being able to stake your cash and walk out. I always laugh when I see casino and they tell him that his plane won't take off. And they send him back to the casino to lose it all after he's up, $4 or $5 million or something. That is the mentality, gambling mentality, that changes what people do. I was talking to Andy Heck yesterday about, for the first time, seeing ads for broker dealers in places that I'd never seen them before. Not unlike CNBC or Fox Business News or Bloomberg, but on things where you'd never think of them just in the last few days. That's always a good sign that they think that there are people out there ready to get into it. And a lot of movement and action is the kind of stuff that brings new traders in. They all think that they're going to make it. But usually this, at the highs, you just don't roll over without sucking in a lot of new money. Now, Bitcoin, huge move here today. NASDAQ, a nice move back out here. But this kind of stuff was like a dime a dozen in 1999 and 2000. And why didn't think we'd see this for another 10 years? Because normally these come along every 30 years. Maybe something's changed in that, or maybe just more intervention by the government changes these boom bust cycles. But make sure you know what you're doing. And we'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. So when you can, buy the Bitcoin. Not when you have to. Ugh, 9,000 on Bitcoin, huh?
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.